Because it's a day that ends with a Y, we have more controversy and trouble in the state of indie game dev to get to for a quick critical thought. As when we talk about the recent decisions by MasterCard and Visa are causing a lot of problems for indie dev, and hopefully we can get some kind of resolution on the matter. So if you missed the news, a very religious organization has pressured payment processors like Visa and MasterCard to put a block or stop any kind of payments related to anything that is adults only content, etc., etc. And while this of course includes the slew of H and porn related games on Steam, it has also caused a trickle-down effect to anything that is considered LGBTQ+, anything that is mature, and the wide variety of games, projects, and more on sites like itch.io. And while a lot of people who are on the pro side say that this is great, that it's stopping all these nasty games, and all the people on the negative side who are attacking itch, it doesn't excuse the fact that the real kind of problem is with Visa and MasterCard and anyone who's able to put a say or stop to this. I'll include a link to a petition to the ACLU that's trying to get MasterCard to change their mind. But this raises a very serious concern, or several concerns, about what it means to make content as a game designer or anyone on the internet, and why this is very troublesome news for everyone involved. As I said, there are people who will quickly jump and say, yay, there's no more porn games on Steam and all that. There should never be someone allowed to censor or block the sales of these games. I certainly do not play them. You know that we have kept things relatively clean in that respect on these streams. But when we look at the ability to create interesting and original content and products, there has to be the freedom to do this. For every porn game that's on Steam, for every H-related game, there are of course games that push the boundaries in interesting and unique ways. Fear and Hunger being one of the more breakout examples of this over the years. I even heard that one of the games that we covered during Next Fest, Consume Me, which is a game that's about dealing with anorexia and overeating as a child, was also affected. And this again is always the problem when we look at these kinds of blanket statements, that just because they talk about one specific niche, suddenly you can expand that out and say, oh, well, this game includes so-and-so, well, that must obviously be for adults and we need to ban it. Or you have people jumping the gun and saying, well, if they're going after X, we should preemptively block all of this because maybe it will be affected. And while itch's stance has not been the best, it does put them in the kind of bad situation all around. Because as a company or as a site that's dealing with payment processing, they are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But the real problem, again, is how much these kinds of companies are having control over the content that's out there. If adults want to put out adult content that is being consumed or purchased between adults, no one else should really have a say between that. And I said that people will quickly jump and say, oh, that means you're defending the most, adult disturbing games that are on Steam. And the point is that, yes, you have to defend everything. All the good and all the bad that comes with it. Because censorship is not good in any way, shape, or form. And at the moment, as I'm recording this, we're still in that very shaky period as to what is going to happen. As I said, the ACLU petition is going on as we speak, but if people can just pressure these companies, and these companies can have such a, finger on the scale, it is certainly not a good thing. Now, of course, someone's going to immediately point out, well, let's just make our own site. We'll just make our own, itch version. But again, that's just kicking the can down the road. There has to be more done to protect content and protect websites like this. And I'm hoping that this will once again, much like with the Stop Killing Games initiative, be a push to get some real kind of consumer action to protect games, sites, and the creators. So, Unfortunately, this is again one of those topics that there really is no immediate answer for or way to say it. But if you haven't heard about this, then this would be something that should be very concerning to you if you have any interest in supporting interesting and original games. Because if they're going after these games, it always means that everything else is just a few steps down the line. Because again, people will always point to anything and everything that offends them or disturbs them or even makes them think as being evil or wrong and it must be removed. Think of the children. But again, video games are not only for children. We have certainly have proven that time and time again. And we need to take a stand when it comes to this kind of censorship. So, again, this will be a very quick thought because, well, you already know my answer to it. So, what do you think about this down below? Be sure to check out the petition as well, and hopefully things will get better, but who knows? But with that, I'll leave everyone for now, and hopefully our next topic will be at least a little bit happier to go over. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.